care of you. So just remember that if you're destroying your life, which you have every God-given right to do, you can't destroy everybody else's around you. All right, let's move into the signs and symptoms of a blackout. AJ, what were your signs?
You're gonna have to leave me out of that whole thing. I don't remember.
You don't. You saw your own tape.
Yeah,
but that was already after you were already there. So let's give people the signs and symptoms of people that are in a blackout, because most people, when they're in the blackout, they don't have a freaking clue. Here we go. It may be hard to tell when people are experiencing a blackout because they're likely to conduct themselves normally. Now, normally meaning normally drunk.
I was just getting ready to say, dude.
Yes,
no.
normally drunk. Okay? Because you get up at 2 o'clock in the morning now and make yourself steak, spaghetti, whatever. So for you, getting up in the morning and in the wee hours or getting home from a bar and cooking yourself a full meal is normal for you. Granted, you do it drunk, but you still do it. Many people who drink too much engage in risky behaviors, but they may remember them the next day. However, there are some indications that a person may be experiencing a blackout, so watch for the following. And this is something that we're putting out there for the first time. And even though people know about blackouts and they might have a friend who's a blackout drunk, do you know when they're heading for a blackout? No.
Well, I can because I'm a drunk, but normal people may not.
Exactly. And truthfully, I did not know this list. You ready?
I'm ready.
The person is easily distracted. I'm sorry, but when you have ADHD, you're easily distracted anyway. That would be me.
Yes.
Yeah. They repeat themselves often during conversation. It's like they can't get off the same single subject. The individual continually forgets where they are or what they were doing.
So far, you're describing my whole drinking career.
Uh-huh. They are unable to hold the thread of a conversation. They appear unconcerned about the thoughts or feelings of those around them. They choose to participate in risky behaviors that they may not perform when sober or just tipsy. The person has consumed a lot of alcohol in a short period of time, or they've been drinking without eating or drinking water. You know, one thing a lot of people don't know is that alcohol dehydrates you quicker than anything, and it also jacks with your sugar really, really bad. So, AJ.
I became a diabetic when I was drinking.
And it reversed itself when you stopped, right?
It did.
My diabetes, unfortunately, has a lot to do with heredity instead of anything else. But
lo and behold, I gave up the bottle. I was no longer a diabetic.
I'm very happy that because when I stopped doing drugs, I also pretty much stopped drinking. So that did not exasperate my diabetes. It didn't cause it to come on. So I'm very blessed in that area. I figured when I gave up one, I would give up all. And right now, my two major vices, cigarettes and coffee. And my doc keeps trying to get me to quit. And then she gets that look. And she says, maybe next time.
Yeah.
Because that's about the best you're going to get out of me. Yeah, no, maybe next time. For as much as I've already given up, I'm not ready to go there.
That's my attitude too, but I get looked at funny. I tell people, look, they took away my booze, they took away my drugs, they are not taking away my smoke.
Yeah, well, and I'm supposed to quit smoking, and I've been saying that now for many years, and I still smoke, and I still smoke. Anyway, let's get into
getting there, but I'm not there yet.
Let's get into demographics of blackout drinking. I didn't even know there were any, but there are. Women, women are more prone to blackouts than men, largely because they become intoxicated from consuming less alcohol. Women have a higher body fat ratio and less water to body mass, which means they're physically less able to dilute and process alcohol than men. Now, small boys, small men, have blackouts the same as most women. Women have childbearing hips and breastises. So we have more body fat so we can't consume as much, because if you're lean and fit, everything goes through your body correctly and properly, and your liver can digest it, and your kidneys and all that neat stuff. But when you have more body fat, alcohol likes to adhere to it. So you get intoxicated quicker.
I don't know about that, because I drank like a man.
Yeah, way, way down the line after you had been doing it for a couple of decades. Hello?
Okay, fine.
Yeah, that's called building up a tolerance, honey. All right.
I did.
People who smoke are more likely to black out from consuming too much alcohol. This correlation is unclear, but it could be related to an existing addiction or problems with impulsive or compulsive behaviors. The facts are there, they just don't know why. When people have friends who drink or use other recreational drugs, they are more likely to experience blackouts from drinking too much. Be careful, kids, because alcohol on its own is not good. Too much, too fast. Drugs on their own, I'm not even going to go there because it's illegal for most drugs. We're not even going to go there. But to mix the two, and you are looking for serious problems. Adrian?
And that was me, because I discovered that the more cocaine I sniffed, the more I could actually drink. That literally was my philosophy.
Yeah, okay.
There was honestly something about sniffing cocaine that enables you, or enables your tolerance. You know, it doesn't seem like you get as drunk as quick. And that's exactly how I started sniffing. Well, if I do this, I can do this more.
And what you did was you counteracted one effect with a different effect, and then you used the other to counteract that effect, and then the other to counteract that effect. Yeah, so what you did was you put your body through an absolute roller coaster. Up and down, up and down. And I wish I could say I didn't do that. I can't. I would get very, very high during the day, and then in order to go to sleep at night, because of how much coke I did, I had to drink to bring me back down. And then first thing in the morning again, in order to wake up, I would have to do the coke again. It was really bad. Really bad.
You drank to bring you down?
Yes.
But in order to bring myself down, and this is no exaggeration by any stretch of the imagination, I would drink a half a bottle of NyQuil, take 4 or 5 Benadryls, and at least 3 or 4 Tylenol PMs. I don't know how I am sitting here talking to you today, because I did that regularly.
Yeah, I don't either. On that note, we're going to go to our last commercial break, brought to you by Also Out Youth. They provide advocacy, leadership, support, and outreach located in Sarasota, Florida. You can find them and all of our sponsors quicker and faster at rainbow411.com. We'll be right back.
Hallelujah. This is Shangela from RuPaul's Drag Race Season 2, 3, 4, probably 5. Child, please. You're listening live on gshradio.com.
Come stay at the award-winning Flamingo Resort in St. Petersburg, Florida. Located conveniently off I-275 at exit 17, the Flamingo Resort is Florida's largest LGBT resort. Pet-friendly with 120 rooms and an 80,000-gallon pool. Celebrate the weekend with your friends at one of our monthly themed events or our infamous Sunday tea dance with live DJ and dancers. Dine al fresco by the pool or enjoy a signature cocktail at one of our 6 bars. We are not just a weekend destination. With daily drink specials, come out during the week for any of our theme nights, talent and karaoke, to a rowdy game of bingo. Whether you're LGB or T, the Flamingo Resort is the place to be.
Hey, this is Cleo King, Nana from Mike and Molly, and you're listening to GSHradio.com. Hey, hey, hey!
And we're back with Pit Stop. AJ, you still with me?
I am.
Yay. Okay, so we were talking about blackout drinking and how we would get high and how we would come back down. And how we're both still here, I have no bloody idea.
I'm serious.
It's called the grace of God. And because we're grateful, we keep giving back, hopefully. All right, the next section is short-term and long-term effects of blackouts. Exactly what you never wanted to discuss, AJ.
Mm-hmm.
Short-term effects from blacking out can include mental health problems, such as depression or physical issues from an injury, a traumatizing personal encounter, or a sexually transmitted infection. There could be legal or financial consequences from performing illegal activities while blacked out. These issues may occur among people who do not black out from drinking too much because these inhibitions will still be lowered and decision-making is still impacted. So, depending upon how much you drink, you still might end up paying for it if you're caught. Again, if you're going to drink that much, make it a home party. Don't get behind the wheel, please. You ready for some long-term effects, AJ?
Is that a trick question?
Here we go. Long-term effects can occur from drinking too much regularly. But again, brain damage is not directly caused by blacking out. A person who drinks heavily for a long time and may experience frequent blackouts as a result is more likely to experience general memory loss, even if they're not intoxicated. They will have a harder time forming memories, including recent memories. AJ, you can attest to that, yes?
I definitely can, because my short-term memory really, I have a hard time with it, and I used to joke about it, but here lately over the past year or two, it really starts to worry me.
I'm not going to read you
because reality is starting to set in, and I'm starting to realize that that probably is a direct result of my drinking. I thought I got away with it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have any repercussions, but I'm starting to realize that I have.
I'm not going to read the entire article that I found, which is the real medical crap. But what it basically said was, after you turn off your brain so often, which is blackouts, and not having any memory whatsoever, your brain eventually starts thinking that way anyway. And it becomes harder and harder for you to form new memories.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the article that I chose not to read because it would have been way too many long words. But that's basically what it boiled down to, is that after you have so many blackouts, your brain actually thinks that it doesn't need to have those memories anymore, and it stops creating them.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, I didn't grab that one because that was, like 5 pages of all the medical terms. But basically, that's what it boiled down to. A person who occasionally experiences a blackout may sometimes binge drink. While binge drinking is dangerous, people who engage in this behavior on rare occasions are not considered to have an alcohol use disorder. However, people who drink heavily on a regular basis are more likely to have an alcohol use disorder. These individuals may or may not experience blackouts or brownouts. Again, in some instances, the brain may not be prone to this symptom. However, people who are prone to blackouts and experience them regularly are likely struggling with alcohol use disorder, which will become increasingly dangerous as the body's tolerance to alcohol increases. They are at greater risk of suffering alcohol poisoning and death if they continue to binge drink to the point of blacking out. Anything you want to add to that before I get into some other symptoms?
I think, in my case, and that doesn't mean I'm special, but it's the only way I can justify this. I think the fact that I was a binge drinker is exactly what saved my life. Because although I did it for an extremely long period of time, had I consumed the amount of alcohol that I was consuming on a daily basis, I'd have died a long time ago.
And that is
so in my
more than likely
and I
true.
honestly